not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Yeah, it's time to empower, educate, and encourage your women to motivate you through whatever you've been going through. We can talk about it. We ain't passing no judgment. So don't be ashamed. It's all the same. Stay in your lane. Your lane. It's whatever your real life looks like. Stay in your lane. Come out the dark and don't be ashamed. Your lane. Let's have a conversation on what we face every day. Tune into your lane talk show. It makes us feel good just to know we're not alone. No more we feel isolated and cast aside. I want you to come out the dark. Just don't be afraid of your heart. So don't be ashamed. It's all the same. Stay in your lane. Your lane. It's whatever your real life looks like. Stay in your lane. Come out the dark and don't be ashamed. Your lane. Let's have a conversation on what we face every day. It's your Lane Talk Show with Coach Trish Hanna.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everyone to Your Lane Talk Show with your favorite coach on a Sunday, Coach Trish Hanna. It is so good to be in your company today. This is the day that the Lord has made, and we will continue to rejoice and be glad in it. This is the Guardian Radio 96.9 FM dial. We are broadcasting live here in Nassau, Bahamas. And we're happy to have you on board Your Lane Talk Show. For those who are tuning in for the very first time, this is a show that empower, encourage, and educate women and men of all ages. We started with just, this is a women's show, this is a women's show, but we have seen how that came about, right? We've seen the amount of men who've been calling in. We have seen the amount of topics that we've been having that included the men, and the men, of course, were definitely engaged and involved in our conversation. So we say, yeah, just bring the men one time, man. So there's a women on a man show. This is the people's show. Yes, indeed. We are a faith-based show, but we keep it real. We tackle real issues affecting our lives, families, and communities. And we ensure that whatever it is that we do, that God is the center of every single matter. All right. Last week on episode 182, we had a powerful conversation titled One Flesh, Understanding God's Design for Marital Intimacy with Apostle Yvette Benton of Impart Ministries International in Kennesaw, Georgia. She is my mentor, and I'm proud, and I was proud to have had her on. I think this is her third or fourth time on Your Lane Talk Show. Now, our conversation was centered on 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verses 3 to 5. And of course, we discussed, if you are familiar with this particular scripture, it talks about intimacy, not withholding from your spouse. So we covered things like rejection. What happens if da 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 da? We spoke about communication. What if da da da? And some of the things that can quietly create distance between a husband and a wife. She highlighted, she conquered, and she had a wonderful time sharing with the audience. I mean, it was so impactful that people are still calling in or texting in and say, hey, this show has been a blessing to me. And so I'm grateful for that, and I'm excited. And if you are interested in hearing more about this particular show, if you are having any form of issues in your marital bed pertaining to someone, you or your spouse having issues with intimacy, withholding for whatever reason, being manipulated, being manipulative for any reason, go ahead and tune into the show. It's 182, One Flesh, Understanding God's Design for Marital Intimacy. And you can see it, watch it on Your Lane with Coach Trish Hanna on YouTube. And while you are there, please like and subscribe. So today's show, we want to highlight our teachers. It's all about the teachers, right? It's all about the teachers. And as parents, we drop our kids off to school and expect teachers to teach them, right? They encourage them. They prepare them for whatever, to elevate into the next grade. And sometimes they help raise our children for whatever reason, right? And some of us act out and all, when we see or hear that the teachers are disciplining them or correcting them for whatever reason. But how many of us as parents, I say us because I have three, actually ask our teachers, how are you doing? How many of us as teachers actually go to that particular, as parents rather, go to that particular teacher and say, what can I do for you today? How can I help you in the classroom today? Because behind every lesson plan, behind every report card, every parent teacher meeting, behind every time when you have to go on your good, blessed Sunday to go to your classroom to design and prepare the class with your own funds before school starts, right? Behind the, what could I say, the child, behind the person who has a child in their classroom, a student in their classroom that gets on their very last nerve, is still a human being, right? It's still someone who needs rest. It's still someone who cries just like us, who has emotions just like we do. So today we're going to tackle this topic. The name of the show is Behind the Classroom, the Heart of a Teacher. So we want to get in the crevices, deep down in the soul, deep there in the heart of the teacher's heart, and we're going to extract it, right? And we're going to ask questions. So I am excited about this show because I have three magnificent teachers and they are here to share their truth. And we want to hear from them, like what really looks like from the other side of the desk. How does it really feel being a teacher? Have our children changed? Have parents changed? Has the classroom changed? These are all questions that I am excited to ask my guests today. And we all understand that there are learning abilities, discipline challenges, technology changes basically every 3 years, 2 years, or whatever have you. So we know that there are also issues with various family dynamics depending on, where your school is located, or, the culture that you have, the various cultures that are in the schools. So we understand that. We understand the language barriers that come along with some students who coming from a foreign country and they trying to speak and the teacher's like, huh? We understand all of that. And so we wanna hear from these teachers. All right. And of course, while we are tuning in, we're asking for those who are also teachers to share, to subscribe to the YouTube channel as well, to tag teachers that you know of, administrators as well, because we do have an administrator on board, principals, etc. We want you to tune into this show and we want you to be as engaging as we are. And this is an interactive show today. All right. I want to hear from you. And we're not bashing our teachers. We're not bashing our parents, and we're not bashing our students. We love this country. I just want you to know Your Lane Talk Show loves this country. And if you notice, for the 4 years that I've been on air, that I've never bashed, right? Now, I may share my truth, but never in a form where I'm bashing anyone. And that's what we're doing today. We're going to uplift. And if there are any constructive criticism necessary, then that's fine. And that's what we're going for. And because within constructive criticism comes the ability to become more efficient in what it is that we're doing. All right. We're stronger. We strive for perfection. We're not perfect. All right. So constructive criticism is accepted here today. Okay. So if you want to tune in, if you want to, to give us a call, you can go ahead and do so. The numbers are 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. And if you want to text anonymously, or you on the road, which you should not be texting and driving, by the way, if you want to pull on the side of the road and give us a text, you can do so at where's the text number? 422-4796. That's 422-4796. And if you want to see our guests today, if you want to see who they are, if you want to join in and just post your answers, because I do have some questions, you can go to YouTube at Your Lane with Coach Trish Hanna, or you can go on Facebook Your Lane Life Coaching. We're also on the Guardian Radio 969 on cable. Okay, for those who have cable, we're on BTC Flow Channel 612. We're on the Guardian Radio app, and we're on the website www.guardiantalkradio.com. Because today is all about the teachers. The teachers have the floor. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. Your Lane with Coach Trish Hanna, episode 183. Behind the Classroom, the Heart of a Teacher, is brought to you by John Shoe Store and Accessories, Your Lane Life Coaching. I'm going to post this right here for 1 second. Let me bring this up right here for y'all to see. The Children's Dream Journal. Okay, the Children's Dream Journal helps children write and draw their dreams while teaching parents how to pay attention to what God may be revealing. It's intentional, it's fun, and it builds spiritual awareness early. Grab your copy today and start protecting your child's dream life on purpose. It's available at All Seasons Book and Gift Center in Palmdale or on Amazon. And coming soon, everybody say yay! My Dream Journal for Teens. Okay, that is on the way. The manuscript is in the hands of the editors. It's a faith-based book designed to help teenagers understand the importance of their dreams and become more aware of what may be happening while they sleep. And those books have been written and authored by yours truly, Coach Trish Hanna. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. All right. We're also brought to you by Thompson Trading, Lysol brand, as well as the Airwick brand. Thank you so much, Thompson Trading. We're brought to you by Commonwealth Bank and 242 Media Connect. All right. So my question for the audience today, I want to post this here as well. My question for the audience is, and this is for my teachers, my educators who are tuning in, what is the biggest challenge teachers are facing in the classroom today that parents and the general public may not fully understand? What is the biggest challenge teachers are facing in the classroom today that parents and the general public may not fully understand? And once again, I will give you the text number 422-GR96. That's 422-4796, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. If you are tuning in anywhere outside of New Providence, of course, you can give us a buzz at 242-300-5720, which is toll line 242-300-5720. All right. So what I'm going to do real quick before we take our break, I'm going to introduce our speakers. Okay. So I'm going to go first with Mr. William Fullerton, and of course, producer, you can cut on the camera to ensure that they are seeing Mr. William Fullerton. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I don't know, as Bahamians we say furl. I mean, so used to saying furl, right? But Mr. William Fullerton, Mr. William. All right, I'm sticking with that, okay? Mr. William is an experienced international mathematics educator with an impressive 29 years in the teaching profession, having taught in Jamaica, England, Oman, and the Bahamas. He believes that education goes far beyond academics and places great value on building meaningful relationships with both students and parents while supporting the development of the whole child. Mr. Fullerton is passionate about excellence in the classroom and helping students recognize and reach their full potential. Throughout his career, he has remained committed to making a positive difference in the lives of young people and the wider school community. We also have Mrs. Shakia Peet. Hey, Mrs. Peet is a wife, mother of four, and passionate educator who has also served in children's ministry at Grace Community Church for more than 15 years. After pursuing careers in hospitality and banking, a conversation with her sister helped her realize and recognize the importance and the impact she had on children and ultimately discover what she believes was God's plan for her life, which is teaching. 10 years later, Mrs. Peet is a third grade teacher at Kingsway Academy, where she continues to pour into the lives of her students. She remains passionate about her calling and continues to continue to seek opportunities to grow as an educator. And we also have with us Mrs. Sheanda Maycock. Yay! Mrs. Maycock is a seasoned educator and administrator whose career in education began in 1994. Throughout the years, she has served at several primary schools, including Oaksfield Primary, Stephen Dillett Primary, Garvin Tynes Primary, and C.W. Sawyer Primary, steadily advancing from classroom teacher to senior mistress, administrator, vice principal, and ultimately principal. Her leadership journey has taken her to schools including Thelma Gibson, Sadie Curtis, Centerville, Sandilands, and Sybil Strawn primary schools. Today, Mrs. Maycock continues her service to education at the Western New Providence District Office. She is also a wife and mother of 4 beautiful, anointed, blessed children. All right. So what we're going to do is going to take a quick break. And then right after this break, I would love to hear from our educators. Of course, the question, once again, my educators are, let's look for that question. There it is. It says, what is the biggest challenge teachers are facing in the classroom today that parents and the general public may not fully understand? You can give us a call, you can post on YouTube or Facebook, or you can give us a text, all right? So we would love to hear from you. And then we're going to take our break as I've stated, and right after that, you'll hear these wonderful voices. Stay tuned.
With Lysol, you can disinfect all surfaces inside and outside your home. When used as directed, Lysol eliminates 99.9% of bacteria, fungus, and viruses. Maintain a healthy home by preventing sickness and keeping infections under control. Don't just clean your surfaces, disinfect them. Lysol does more for you and your family. That's our mission for health. Distributed by Thompson Trading Company.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Getting ready to go back to school? Come on into John, where we will have you looking smart on your feet with the wide selection of brands you can trust for boys and girls. Hush Puppies, Skechers, Camper, Timberland, Class Action, Hey Dude, and more. Get a bag for those books or a new lunchbox from a wide selection of spray ground and Toto backpacks. Socks and belts are available in colors and sizes as well. All this and more with the best prices and customer service in town at John's on Rosetta Street, Carmichael Road, and now the Venetian Village Shops at Old Fort Bay. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. All right. Producer, I don't see the camera on the StreamYard, but hopefully people can still hear me. There you go. There you go. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. We have a new producer today for your lane. Simba, is so good to have you in our presence today. And of course, you cannot take over Christoph's spot. All right. That's my boy. Okay. Simba said I could never. But Simba is also excellent in what he does. And so we salute you, Simba. All right. So let's get to our questions. I want to ask Mr. Fullerton. Y'all notice I say it right? Yes. Now, Mr. Fullerton, I know.
But if you're uncomfortable, you can go ahead.
No, Mr. William. Yeah. I'll stick with Fullerton because I need to practice it. Fullerton. All right. 29 years is a very long time,
yes,
right? To be committed to teaching.
Year.
30th now?
I've just entered.
Wow. So take us back to the beginning, sir. What made you choose education and what has kept you there for all these years, especially as a male?
Well, it was all about my dad.
Mm-hmm.
My dad thought that each of his children
Mm-hmm.
should have a education one and we should be in a position to work for the government, because it was his intention at the time that once you work for the government, it is a secured job.
Mm.
But my love wasn't teaching. My first love wasn't teaching. My first love was accounting.
What?
Yes. And it so happened that he was adamant that I must work with government.
Mm.
So I had to switch after 2 years into education training. And I've never looked back. It's about when he asked me to go to a college. At the time, I had two other siblings
Mm-hmm.
who were attending teachers college in Kingston.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want to be there because I was being a little rebellious sometimes.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And so I went to another college, and I fell in love with it.
Mm-hmm.
And my siblings and I, we still talk about which college is the best. So I attended Church Teachers College, and it was the best, and it is the best. But when I graduated from college, I was curious, because imparting knowledge on students requires for them to tell you when they need help. And so I said to my dad, how will I know when they need help? And he says, don't worry. I remember his words now. He says, if you build relationship with your students, they will come to you. And if they're not able to come to you, you will notice the difference. And I've used that for my 29 years that has passed, and I'm using it in my 30th that I've entered into this.
Congratulations, by the way. And it's in them coming to you, and then if they don't, you'll see the difference. I want you to elaborate about that, because on that a little, because of course, we have a lot of educators tuning in now, and we have parents also that are tuning in. We want just to ensure that they get that it's okay to go to the teacher. It's okay to say, I don't understand. It's okay to raise your hand. I want you to share a little bit about that.
Okay, so I'm just going to back up a little. As teachers, we teach to the brain. Particular point is the amygdala, and it's a small pea-sized shaped organ in the brain that determines the fight or flight situation.
Right. Okay.
And so if you get to the point where you understand that, then you're either encouraging a child to come towards you or to go away from you. And so when you understand a student, because it's not just the math that you're teaching the student, you're teaching the whole child in front of you. Good? We're focusing on friendship groups, where challenges that they have, problems this morning. It's all about that. But if a child comes in and you're observing, building relationship with them, then you will know when there's a difference. If a child comes in and quite bubbly today, every day, and today it's not so bubbly, you will know that difference, and you will go to that child and say, hey, what's happening today? You're not looking the way you normally look. So the child will share, open up. Yes? And then they will realize it's not just the grades, it's not just the subject that you're interested in. You're interested in the student.
Yes.
And so whenever they need help, they will come to you and ask for that help.
So there's a saying that says, people don't really care what you know until they know I'm sorry, until what? Now you have me mixed up because I try to say it and you until they feel how you can. Someone tell me how it is go. How it go, Mrs. Maycock?
People don't care how much you know. How you make me feel.
It's not,
Care how much you make me feel.
That's it. Have you ever heard that saying?
No.
Now, I know we messed that saying right up, but I sure it don't go like that.
Man.
So no, man, that's international. People know that. But they don't. But I can look for that and I can say it properly. Yes. But just before we continue, let me read a text message. Someone's answering the question that we stated earlier, and the answer is: I would say that the biggest challenge is that parents believe that education begins and ends in the classroom. This is false. Reinforcement is essential for children to retain what is learned. Thank you so much, Texter, and that is so powerful. Now, I have so many questions for my teachers, my educators here on this platform, but guess I'll be letting it flow today because I love how this texter said that. So I'm going to ask Mrs. Peet to just share a little on what was mentioned in the text today. What are your thoughts, your sentiments on what was said?
I am in full agreement with that texter because I've seen it myself. You send homework home and it's not completed or it's being done first thing in the morning in class. I teach in the daytime, right? I expect. It's an expectation. It's a partnership between the parent and the teacher. It's just not solely my job. Yes, I'm being paid to do this. However, it's that partnership that gets that child to the next step. And if you are not assisting or doing your part with the reinforcement, then the child will stumble, the child will falter. So that relationship, that partnership is essential. So I do believe that I agree totally with that texter.
And definitely I agree with that as well. I want to ask, let me go back to Mr. Fullerton in the fact that, you've taught in Jamaica, you've taught in Oman, you've taught in England as well, yes. Right? Now here in the Bahamas, what differences have you noticed in students? All right, parents and the education system across those countries. And is there anything you saw abroad that you think we could benefit here from the Bahamas, in the Bahamas?
Wow, that's a difficult question. And I tell you why it's a difficult question. Each country you go to, each class, each school that you attend, I tend to engross myself in the culture of that country or society that I'm in, so as to understand the students that I'm working with. Yeah. Now, there are slight differences in where you are and the schools that you're in. We've got some students, for example, when I was in Jamaica, students use education as a means of elevating themselves out of their situation, whether it's the social or economical situation. When I moved to the UK, education was a right. They took it for granted because they're entitled to it. So it depends on where you are. Now, parents have evolved over the years, not students, parents. And so it's how we support our students that makes the difference. Because that child remains the same. And I want to go right to the text that send that message. It's a partnership. And once the student recognizes that partnership with all the adults in their lives is about getting them to be better individuals for the wider society, then they will want to learn. Because when the parent comes in and the teachers come together and they are saying the same thing, same message is being sent to the child, then the child knows that education is important and they will go on that pathway.
Everyone needs to be on the same team, same page, just like a relationship when you are even at your home and as a husband and wife or parents, no, regardless of your status. But obviously, it takes a man and a woman. So whatever that status may be, divorce, whatever have you, you still want to be on that same page to ensure that your child is not confused about life, confused about the rules, regulations, etc., confused about how they should live their lives and conduct themselves wherever they are. You can't say, oh well, yes, you're going to do this here, and then the father says, oh no, da, 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 and then it confuses the child. So the same terms, like for a parent, for a teacher, that a parent has certain values that are instilled in that child, you can't expect the child to do things that are outside of what. And I could give you a good example. Not of mine saying this. Okay, my household, that your household different. My household do not. We don't entertain Halloween. Okay, we don't dress up, and I don't think it's cute. I don't care if they look like a butterfly. That doesn't matter to me. So if I put my child in an environment or in a school where they celebrate it for whatever reason, it may not seem as if it is demonic. It may seem, harmless or whatever have you. It doesn't matter. So as a teacher, I would want you to understand my values, please, and just respect that. Respect it in a way where if it means, hey, can she not participate and sit in the classroom or not come to school today, whatever it means. And that's just one example. We're talking now about also the way that they are expected to perform in the classrooms as well. How they should, like I said before, ask questions if they are confused about something, not just sit in the class and they don't know, so they're not going to ask. I tell my children about that all the time. If you have an issue, I'm telling you to raise your hand. There was an instance, honestly, with a past teacher where that particular teacher made the students feel extremely distraught, afraid to raise their hands because of how, the questions that were asked was because they didn't know. But the teacher made it seem as if, oh, you slow or something wrong with you, or I've already said it this way and you're not getting it. And so it caused everyone in the class not to want to raise their hands and ask the proper questions. I'm stating real life instances and situations here. Okay, we want to be on the same page, on the same accord. We want to ensure that everyone is on par, and we ensure that we don't confuse our students and our children. Correct? Yeah. So, Mr. Fullerton, I'm going to give you a little break to catch yourself. I'm going to go to Mrs. Peet for a second. Just before we go to Mrs. Peet, I do see that there's a caller. So we are going to, let me just make sure it's okay with my producer. We good? All right. So we're going to accept the call. Your Lane Talk Show. Good afternoon.
The greatest coach in the world. How are you, ma'am?
Wonderful, sir. To God be the glory. How are you?
That's a male and a female teacher you have there with you?
Two females and a male. We have yet to hear from the other one. Yes.
Females?
Two females and a male. Yes.
What are their names?
Their name is Mrs. Sheanda Maycock, Mrs. Shakia Peet, and Mr. William Fullerton.
Okay, I got to be short because I know you're going to get a lot of calls today. But I want to start from when I was in school at Columbus Primary.
Okay.
I had a teacher named, her name at the time was Natalie Hart. Mm-hmm. She's now Natalie Bain. That woman was if you could stay in school there at 6 o'clock, she'll stay there with you and help you. Mm-hmm. She never turned, and mind you, she was a music teacher. But if you had problems with your English, your math, whatever, she would help.
Yeah.
That I think she's now in charge of the music session at Church of God of Prophecy.
Okay.
It's Natalie Bain now.
Yes.
She had married our PE teacher, Mr. Bain, at Columbus Primary. But now my children, now I don't have no children in school now, mm-hmm. but when they were in school, they both of them attended Temple Christian First Stanch. Okay. Until my daughter went into grade 6 and she graduated, and my son was in grade 3. He thought he was supposed to go when she go. So after she stopped school, he didn't want to go there no more. But I think that the problem that they were having there in the school was the language barrier, the talk, that language with the teacher. Mm. They couldn't really, my daughter would always come home and say she couldn't understand what the teacher said. And I thought it was only her. So I went into the office as a concerned parent. And, I spoke to the principal and everything, and they were having the same problem. About 5 to 6 to 7 teachers, parents had the same problem with the teacher. They wasn't speaking English clear. Clear enough for primary school students.
I get that. But
my other thing in closing.
Yes.
I come from a teaching family. I had 2 sisters and a brother taught in school. My older sister, to me, she started off at E.P. Roberts. The teaching is the only job she ever had. From my accent, she was a teacher. She went to E.P. Roberts, and from E.P. Roberts, she went to Carmichael Primary. I know they now changed the name. And from there, she went to Carventines as a master teacher, not a headmaster. She mastered subjects. That when children dropping back in the class, they would send her to like a tutor.
Okay.
And I noticed one day, we were living together then. She would always bring 2 girls home on the weekend. I thought she was helping them. But what had happened in Carventines is that they had 1 or 2 Creole-speaking smart children in the classes. And what they would do, they would tell the rest of the children the answers in Creole, while the Bahamian children laughing at them. They telling the other children the answers in Creole. And my sister caught on to that. And you don't believe my sister died at the age of 55. And if you were to hear her speak Creole, you'd believe she was a naturally born Haitian. All the while she's bringing the children home.
So they can teach
they
her.
were teaching her.
Flip the script.
And that's how she gets. That was before she was still in the classroom at the time.
Caller, thank you so much for calling.
Yeah.
Though I really do appreciate it. And we only have a few more minutes, so I want to make sure we get our guests on board. But I do appreciate your sentiments today. Mrs. Peet, you teach 3rd grade. All right. All right. You have to really, because even before that, you taught like K3 and K4, K5, etc. You have to have a perfect love for children, basically, right? To teach at that particular grade. You're dealing with children at such an important developmental stage at 3rd grade. That's like, okay, I'm not a baby anymore. I'm not in K5. No more naps for me. I'm going straight into preparing for GLAT and all these different things. So I have to learn how to study on my own and all these various things. I want to know, what does a typical day really look like for you? So that parents can maybe understand, how teachers, how a teacher would see the classroom from your perspective.
Okay. A typical day for me in the classroom. Yes, I do love my students. I'm a hugger, I'm a lover. So all of my students most of them tend to like me, and we have a good relationship. But like Mr. Fullerton said earlier, that relationship base is important. So in my classroom, and I know some parents may knock me for this or might not knock me for it, but we have conversations. I do want to know how your night was. That's the first thing I ask them when they walk in the door. It's a repetitive thing. Each student is asked, how was your day? How was your night? Did you sleep well? Did you eat breakfast? Are you okay? Everything's fine. It's not me prying into their business, but it's me feeling out that child to see what I need or how I need to approach them throughout the day. So most of my lessons, we start off with Bible. At Kingsway, first thing is Bible. After we introduce that lesson, I find that most students would bring out some grievances that they may have, either whether it's in the home or with a friend or with another family member. And so my day begins with like a powwow, getting deep into the nitty gritty of it and letting them and encouraging them and reassuring them that God is always there for them. God knows what's best. If you ever have a problem, calling God and letting them know that I am also there for them. So if mom and dad are unavailable, call Miss Pete. And I actually have some parents that would call me in the middle of the day, in the middle of the evening, Miss Pete, talk to this one, Miss Pete. And, we have that type of relationship. But my day is always, we do more talking. We do more conversing. We do more getting to know what your needs are, more so than lessons. I get my lessons done, but I still get to know my student. And that helps me in my method with them. My method of teaching.
I love that because you just name off all kind of different. You name a therapist. Okay, you
wear
name
many hats.
Many hats. Right? You a mom in the classroom, right? You are a referee in the classroom, and so many other things. And that is so beautiful, right?
And
that is so beautiful. And you can tell. I've had kids who were in your class at your previous school, place of employment, and to this day, in fact, my kids are like, "Mommy, I want to tune into the show. I want to tune into the show. Let's Pete on the show." And we've seen what you've done. We've seen how, as parents, and I have a lot of parents that I still am connected with from your class, who can attest to the fact that you make learning fun. You have this way of being, what's the word I want to use? Animated, just to fit that class, right. You were the teacher that had my K3 student during the pandemic. And from then on, I said, Lord, remind me to never want to be a teacher ever in life. Don't ever put that on me, because I have seen your patience. I've seen your grace. I've seen the way that you can be so creative in the space that you had and the way that you conquered. And so I want to salute you, ma'am.
But God.
God's grace. I want to salute you. I also want to know, I know that children don't all learn the same way.
No.
How do you recognize when a child isn't necessarily, we use the term slow, isn't necessarily grasping the concept when you do teach, but simply needs to be taught differently? How can you tell, and what is it that you do?
Okay, that's my alley. That's right up my alley, because at my previous school, I would have encountered some children that might have been they're not on the same path, they're not on the same wavelength level. And I found that one teaching method did not
apply to everyone.
It did not apply. I would notice the work would decline. You can say what you want to say, but you can't put it into writing. So then it was when I said, you know what? This ain't working. Let me figure out how. So that's when I went online. I would either go on YouTube. I would ask different colleagues, how do you do this? How do you relate this to your class? So I did a lot of reading online. I don't like reading books too much anymore, but I do a lot of audio books that would bring me some insight. And that's what pushed me to pursue in different degrees, because I'm like, okay, this child, something's wrong. And I wanted to know how best to reach these children. So I went and I pursued special education. And not only in pursuing that special education did I realize that, hey, you need to do something different. There are children that just aren't interested, and you have to get to the floor, get on the table,
get on that level.
I've created songs that I can't remember. And I pray that the children help me remember the next day, because I'm just going with the flow. And I found that music reached most of them. Music and dancing, of course, that was my level at that time. And I find the same thing for my third graders. Once I find that song that they like, and I let them know, Miss Pete's class, if it ain't Christian, it ain't playing in here. So all of these boogie you coming up with, back off with it. We're gonna find a nice Christian song, a nice tune, and I let them pick the tune. And then I just verbiage what I want them to learn. The lesson or the keynotes in that particular lesson that I want them to learn. And I find that they gravitate to that more. Some of them are more kinesthetic. They work with their hands. So you have to find different manipulatives in the classroom. So my lessons usually encompass video, hands-on, and the book. So whichever one works for you, let's go with that. And I offer parents the opportunity. And I know that when I came from working bank hours. So I know my kids used to be in the bank with me until 6, 7 o'clock in the evening. So I know that you might have been working late. So I extend to my parents, I give you until 9 o'clock. I have children and a husband of my own, and my husband don't play that too tough. Get off this phone. But I give you that privileges, and because I know they have extracurricular activities, call me. If you don't understand anything, I say what I need to say. I show you, send you videos. So it's a partnership. It just goes back to that.
I love that. I love that. So speaking of partnership, what is one thing that parents do that make your job as a teacher easier That's one part. That's part A of the question. And then the second part is, what is one thing that they do, perhaps without realizing it, because, I'm not saying they're going to be intentional, that makes teaching their child more difficult?
Okay, easier goes right back to that little extension I gave you. Give me a call. If you need me, I am here. I believe, like Mr. Fullerton said, in teaching the whole child, I know that you have extracurricular activities. I know that you work and et cetera, and I have things to do myself. But my child, and I call them my children, my child's education at the end of the day is what's most important to me. So if you need me, you reach out. I have no problem sending, like I say, different ways or methods of doing things. I've sent videos where I write out a sum, work it out for the parents so they could see how it's done, and along with a video, or I just video call you while you're working it out so I can talk to the child. Okay, what did we do in class today? How did we do this? Remember this, remember that. So use that option. I'm opening my doors to you do that in ways that they make it difficult. I have no problem with my children learning different things in different ways, but don't make it seem as though my method is incorrect. Don't make it seem as though it cannot work. Mind you, there are some ways that you can teach a child differently. And a parent may actually, I've been taught by a parent, you taught me a different way of doing something, but don't cancel out what I've already taught in the class because it makes it seem as though you trump. And that's my classroom. That's not your classroom.
Come on.
So while your help and assistance is greatly appreciated, while I cooperate with you in your house, I expect for you to cooperate with me in my classroom.
I love that.
Because it's great. It's 3SP, not your class.
Oh, we're gonna have to take a little break after that, because that was like drop the mic. And it's true, you have a lot of parents that go into the classroom trying to rule and reign. No, that's not your turf. Yes, that's your child, but that territory belongs to the teacher. And of course, that's you want the students to learn. You want the students to learn the way that the teacher taught them. Try not to interrupt. And if you don't understand the method, because I know this is something too, if you don't understand the method that the teacher uses, go and connect with the teacher yourself, as Mrs. Peet said, and let the teacher help you. Okay, it's okay. Don't be ashamed, child. I've been not knowing how to do these children math from the time they switched. Not even before they switched schools, I didn't know their math. Don't come to me, all right? But I would go to the teacher and say, hey, this is what is happening. I don't know how to do this. Can you assist me? And of course, I get assistance. So that's another good point, another tip. Parents, those who are tuning in, if you don't understand the concept when it comes to helping or assisting your child with homework, reach out to the teacher. No shame in that. Let's take a quick break.
The power goes out, and suddenly everything stops. No fan, no AC, no cold drinks, no comfort. But it doesn't have to be that way. With 100% financing on generators and solar panels, Bank of the Bahamas will help you keep your home powered and your family comfortable. So don't sweat the next outage. Visit bankbahamas.com today and get the solution you need now. Stay powered with BOB, your bank of solutions.
Headed to South Florida soon? Holiday Inn Express in Plantation welcomes you to the heartbeat of Florida fun. Whether it's business or pleasure, the Holiday Inn Express is close to sensational shopping, captivating dining, and nightlife. Elevate your Florida experience. Sleep well and rest easy at Holiday Inn Express. Complimentary breakfast buffet featuring seasonal favorites. Keep up your fitness routine in our 24-hour on-site fitness center with cardio equipment and free weights, or take a refreshing swim in our outdoor pool. Your special Bahamas tourist rate awaits. Holiday Inn Express, 1701 North University Drive in Plantation. Book your getaway now. Call directly at 954-472-5600 or the sales department for reservations and additional information.
Feel the forest without leaving the living room. For over 70 years, Airwick has been connecting people to nature, one breath at a time. Infused with 100% natural essential oils, our fragrances are crafted to capture the beauty of the great outdoors. So whether you're feeling floral, citrusy, or just a little woodsy, Airwick brings nature home to you. Available now at Kelly's, Lowe's Pharmacy, and your favorite local store. Airwick, it's not just a scent, it's a nature moment.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Welcome back. Welcome back. You're tuned in to Your Lane Talk Show with Coach Trish Hanna, episode 183. And we're talking about, behind the classroom, the heart of a teacher, where we have Mrs. Sheanda Maycock, Mr. William Fullerton, and Mrs. Shakia Peet on board, sharing their heart about what really happens as a teacher behind the classroom, what their issues may be, their likes, their dislikes, etc. Just before we get to speak to Mrs. Maycock, we do have a caller online who's been patiently waiting over the break. So let's see if we can reach and connect with our caller. Your Lane Talk Show, good afternoon.
Good evening to you all.
Good evening, sir.
During my time in school, right, I was a poor student. I think that I didn't study anything. I could comprehend when something is introduced in the class. When it comes to going home and studying, to remember, I never did that. See, and all my reports would say that I lacked effort.
Mm.
See, and I like to say to y'all, how is it, right, that a child spends X amount more time at school than they spend with their parents, right? And they can't read well and not write, read and do arithmetic. Right, I feel like that's the key right there. All those other subjects, even I prefer my child to know how to read and to do arithmetic than to know the national anthem. You understand what I'm saying? So we spend a whole lot of time doing other things, teaching the kids other things, rather than the basics, the thing that they need to be able to comprehend, at least to be able to read, to do things on their own, at least to study on their own. I mean, I guess you get video books and video and the like now, but but with arithmetic, nothing can replace it. You see, and that for me, that's a problem. You see, maybe we need to increase the hours of school. Maybe it's not enough. But there's no excuse for a child not to be able to read. I had the minister, the minister talk about that when the child cannot read, that there's a great issue. So reading should be, first thing you should do is teach them how to read. All the phonics necessary and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'd like you to address why is it that the kids to learn, you're teaching the kids other things, but not spending enough time with their reading and arithmetic.
Thank you so much, caller. I'm going to allow Mrs. Maycock to address that. But just before Mrs. Maycock, we do have another caller. So, Simba, you can transfer the call. Let's hear this caller. Your Lane Talk Show. Good afternoon. Fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm great. First time caller to your show, but always listening. I'm an avid Guardian radio listener.
Welcome. Thank you, sir.
I would just like to say I would like to coincide with the previous caller. I want to get your take on, and I like the way how one of your panelists, if I could call it that way, how she indicated that she has a particular teaching style that seems to be customized to each student, especially asking them about how their morning was, did they have breakfast, how was the evening, how did they sleep. Those are very, very pertinent and important questions because it is those moods that set the school day for each student. I want to basically find out from your panel then is what is their take on the way that things are really taught in the classroom now? Do they believe in specialty schools?
I know. Are you still there? He's not there. Mrs. Maycock, were you able to catch on to his question? Yeah?
Yes.
You want to answer that one first and then answer the first one?
First one?
Okay.
Okay. What he is talking about was why is it that children are not achieving And if there is provision, when he said special schools,
Mm-hmm.
I think what he's alluding to is if we find that after we do all of this, that the child is not reading or not grasping, what is going to happen or what provisions are being made to catch this? Don't you think that's what he meant? What we know is that in each school, there's a system in place to ensure that students achieve.
Mm-hmm.
The bottom line is student success, student achievement. If we find that we have children that seem to need a little bit more than the provision for the regular classroom, there is a process that we go through whereby students are referred to the guidance department and that they are assessed to see whether or not it's something more than changing the style of teaching to suit the child, or the child needs to be put in a different setting to ensure achievement. So we do have special ed units, special education unit for students needing that assistant. And we also give assistance at school in terms of after school classes, summer programs. Teachers work with the students. So if we diagnose that the child has a learning challenge rather than a disability, there are steps that are put in place to ensure that the child is placed where they need to go.
Thank you for that. There's so many different text messages. I can't go through all of them, but I'll try. But let's see if you can answer the caller.
First one.
Yeah.
The first caller said, why are we teaching students other things rather than reading?
Mm-hmm.
Every subject taught is supposed to be a subject where we're teaching reading.
Mm-hmm.
We're not teaching in isolation. There's integration. So all of the skills that we need, I have two teachers right here with me, are incorporated in our lesson planning, in our execution. And even as a parent, when you are with your children in a car, you're teaching reading when you're pointing out signs for them to read the signs, when you're cooking and you're asking them to read the recipe, when you go into the food store, reading is not in isolation. It's a part of everyday living.
Yes.
And when children see that and see that you are pushing that, it's not in isolation. We don't teach reading by itself,
Thank you for answering that. And I love the fact that you said it that way, because you've been through, as we've stated in your bio, you were teacher, senior mistress, administrator, vice principal, and you're presently in the district office, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you are quite capable and you're quite qualified to be on the show today, all right, to explain whether it's been 2 minutes, 2 years, 20 years since you've been in the classroom, you still have a say in the midst of all of this. And my question to you is this: when you look at the students you taught then compared with the students today, what has changed? What do you think has changed the most?
Well, as a teacher, I started at Stephen Dillard in 1994. And I know as a teacher, we had more parental support. The children had less behavior issues. They were attending more. It's more of a community spirit. And the teacher had more power and control in the classroom. I know persons don't like to hear about it, but when I started teaching, corporal punishment was allowed to be administered by the teacher. So we had more control. Listen to me. Teacher's not going to talk 3 times because you can't stop talking. We exercise classroom management practices, not with the focus being on spanking, but that was a part of what was allowed back then. Additionally, because we had that tight parental support, we could let the parents know because we saw them, they were more visible. If we didn't see the parent, we saw the grandparent. It was a community. As I drove through the corner getting to Stephen Dillard, I'm waving to people on the porch, people in the yard. I could go to the house if the child was absent and find out, well, what happened? So we had more empowerment from the parents, and even the students recognized this. Additionally, parents didn't buy their children everything for this spirit of entitlement.
Come on.
Children had to work, and then there was an order to things, and the support was there. Now it seems as if children choose if they want to pay attention, choose if they want to do the homework. And the parents, some parents actually support this. So back then, the challenges were different, but all we knew was that when the child got in the classroom, it was easier to teach. They were focused. They knew that if Mrs. Maycock stopped and see my mom, that's going to be a problem. The tools were there, the resources were there, the desire to learn and achieve was there because they knew what the end goal was. And parents threaten their children. If you don't do this, I'm going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's as if the harmony and the cohesiveness is just not there. It's just not there.
Partnership has broken down.
Come on, so you gotta say it loud, sir.
I'm saying the partnership has broken.
It has broken. It has broken. I see another caller. What do you want to do, Simba? We press for time. You wanna let's take it. Your Lane Talk Show, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. Sorry to have called back because my call had dropped previously.
Okay.
The question was answered sufficiently. The other part to that I tried to add before the call had dropped was saying that we do have a male educator that is in the studio. I wanted to get his take on how he feels, how we can impact in improving the male presence back in the classroom. Because many of us who were brought up in the from the 60s, 70s, we had a huge prevalence of male teachers in the classroom, but now we don't have that so much. Whereas we look at them as they help to provide structure in terms of discipline, as well as a little bit of nurturing. But the discipline side with where he kind of interacted more with the male students. Does he find that is an issue or a problem in the classroom today, where there is an absence of male teachers in the classroom?
That is actually
the other part of my question. Thanks for taking my.
Thank you, and thanks for tuning in. That is actually one of the questions I do have on here for him. However, we just want to focus on Mrs. Maycock just for a while, and then we go back. All right. So thank you for calling. And honestly, that is a question that I have for you, Mr. Fullerton, because that's imperative, which is the reason why I have you on the show to represent the male teachers here in our country. Now, for you, Mrs. Maycock, from senior mistress, administrator, vice principal, principal, and now where you are presently stationed, having seen education from all those levels, what do you understand about teaching now that perhaps you didn't fully appreciate earlier in your career?
What I understand now is the complexities involved in keeping a school running. Because as an administrator, there's so much that goes on beyond the classroom. And you have to make sure that it's a safe, clean, healthy environment. Minimum interruption. Because one of the things we as administrators try to help teachers is by minimizing the disruptions so that we can make use of the time on task, which is already too short. You understand?
Yeah.
So you want assemblies to be short. You want, if parents want to come into the school, they make an appointment. You want to make sure that time is protected at all costs, because that is the instruction. Another thing that as an administrator, just as Mrs. Peet has to look at her students and know where they are, we have to do that with our teachers. Teachers are coming from home with challenges. And sometimes you can look at their faces and say, come, let's go. Let's go talk. Let's talk. And you have to realize that they matter and their mental health is important. And sometimes you have to say to them, don't worry, we got this. Go home, sort yourself. How long you need? You need a day, you need or two? What else do you need? Because the heart of the matter is they have to be in the space to teach. And we as administrators are support systems. Administrators are in classrooms, keeping classes, pulling children out when you know that, hey, this teacher has had enough. So come, let's go this way. But we have to make sure that the school is running. It has to run.
That's it.
You got to make sure.
Efficiently.
Things have to be in place, and you have to know what needs to be done and get it done.
I love that. I do too. You and that's from an administrative perspective, because there's only so much a teacher can do. A teacher is limited with, the various things that they can do and cannot on that premises, on the campus. And so as an administrator, because you were there, you understand what it is to have a voice and want to do changes, make changes. And then, you're rejected, your idea is rejected or whatever have you. But you now see that, hey, our voice or their voices, I know teacher, their voices are the ones that will help make an impact even on the children. So for instance, if a teacher wants to say, can we go outside and teach today. Let's teach science outside today. There are some principals who'll be like, oh, y'all need to stay inside the classroom, da 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 da. So from an administrative perspective, you know, you can give that okay because you understand maybe that is something that you used to do or wanted to do. Right. Go ahead.
And one more thing too, relationship is key. Both of them said it. We have to know that teachers have a voice and they can make suggestions.
Yeah.
You have grade level meetings, team meetings, staff meetings, and we have an open door policy. Well, I have an open door policy. You come in, and if you have a problem, come with a possible solution. Come with something so we could navigate it together, because we're not the enemy. Administrators are not the enemy. They're part of the process, and each part fits together.
Yeah.
So when teachers have problems, sometimes you have to be able to say, I need this, or we can recommend this. The guidance counselor in the school is not only for the children, you know, she's also for the staff. She has a level of confidentiality and training and counseling. She's not just for the children. So we, right on campus, we have people that can help you. And then there's always someone who's ready to pray.
Come on.
Always. Thank you.
So thank you too. I want to take this caller. Caller, thank you so much for being so patient with us. You're going to be the final caller because we limited the time. Go ahead. Welcome to your Lane Talk Show.
Yes, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you for allowing me to call, and good afternoon to your guests. I was just listening and you're talking about the education. I was wondering, I mean, I'm not certain if anyone has brought up this point yet, but I was wondering if your guests feel as if the attention span of the children, even the adults, has been shortened by the rise in social media and these shorts where everyone is just scrolling. I was wondering if you all feel as if that can be playing a role, and if that can be playing a role, if you feel as if something can be done about that, because it's only going to get worse. I mean, aside from the diet, but I was just wondering if attention span can be a problem for adults and children nowadays because of the social media, how everyone's just scrolling. Thank you very much. I'll sit back and listen.
Thank you. Thank you for calling. I'm going to ask Mr. Fullerton to answer that question.
Yes. Technology has improved over the years. Back in my days when I was a student, there was no internet. I had to go to the library. Now, education is at the fingertips of students. However, they do not necessarily use it all the time. Some will, yes. But with social media, what we have is the swipes, the likes, and not the loves. I say, because all they want to do is to look at the shorts, look at TikTok, and that's where they are right now. But I want to say one thing about that. There are aspects of social media that encourage learning, that has education in it, that has a math problem worked out for them so they can understand it, can have a conversation so that students can learn, or a Spanish sentence that they can learn from. So for me, I'm one who do not remove technology within the classroom because I teach with an iPad.
Right.
That's what I walk with, right? And since the pandemic, I know that technology has helped us, but it's what we use the technology for. And there again, we come back to this partnership in which we say it's a homeschool partnership. Because if they are at home and all they do is look at
TikTok.
things that are not beneficial, then their attention span is going to be shortened by a discussion that we're having in the classroom that they consider to be boring. So, yes, but as I say, I took it back to when I was in the classroom. I never had internet. I didn't have a mobile phone until I was in the 20s. That's when I had it. So, and it wasn't these
high-tech
mobiles.
iPhone.
Yeah. So it is what we use the mobiles and the different devices for, because some students will never recognize that a mobile is a learning tool. But within the classroom,
exposure.
if we expose them to the technology as part of a learning process, then they will grab onto it and take it through this era. But we as old folks have to learn it first,
right?
So that we can enhance them within the classroom.
I love that. And now that you still have the mic, I want to ask this question too. And I said, I typed it so nicely. How important is it for schools to have strong male teachers on campus? But this is how I type it. Now I talk about the strong male masculine teachers on campus. I put it to them. Okay, I can say it. All right. This is Your Lane Talk Show. This is how we work. This is how we operate. I'm transparent, and I'm gonna say it again. How important is it to have the strong male masculine? All right, males on campus who can model healthy masculinity, leadership, discipline, respect, and character, especially for our young boys who may not have that example at home. And what kind of impact can that have on a child?
First of all, I know I'm a strong teacher, but the masculinity part of it, where I'm looking for the muscles.
So the muscles?
I don't have that. I more have a family pack.
Right.
Yes. I want to, for the purpose of the talk shows, I want to frame it around role models, relationships, and holistic development of children. The society has had our kindergarten teachers and our primary teachers, most of them being female. There are a few aspects of it that I believe that we need to do. And one is to show men the importance that they have in the society, in framing our young boys. Because we know, and I'll go to my primary school teacher here, Miss Peet, most of the learning for the students are modeled. She models them within the classroom.
Yes.
And so in the homes, we model what a father should be for our sons to grow up to be good fathers. And so we need to have that ability to model good leadership within the classroom as well. Most times we have a good male student. What do we say? Oh, you can be a good engineer. But we never say, oh, that child is very helpful. Can that child be a good teacher? Yes? Because this is your characteristics, your personality. Can you go into education so as to help others within it? Secondly, it's about what the profession is about. We need to start
recruiting.
Not recruiting, but we need to take the teaching as a genuine profession, and as a result, we pay the teachers up as of such, so as to encourage the males to be in the classroom. I have a love for teaching. I was forced in it by my dad. There are 5 of us in the family who are teachers. Yes? But I was forced into it. It was a role model within the classroom that I had, Mr. Rodney, that encouraged me to be the best maths teacher I could ever be, simply because of how he taught me maths. So yes, and that's why I say it's important for me to build relationship with my students, because Mr. Rodney built that relationship with me, and I remember it till today. Whereas when I go in my classroom, I want to know that 30 years, 40 years after, the students will remember Mr. Fullerton,
Yes.
because he is my math teacher. These were the things that he did. And to allow the student to know that they can be the best they can. So yes, we can have males within the classroom and want to encourage to have more males within the classroom. But I want us to focus mainly on that relationship building within the classroom so that our students, be it male or female, can understand that teaching is not just about the grades. It's about their holistic development for the wider society.
Thank you so much. We're going to actually take a break. Thank you for that. That is a blessing in itself. And so I'm encouraging all the male teachers under the sound of my voice to, take in a child, mold them, model for them what it means to be a teacher. And, sometimes teachers see inside a child quicker than a parent will actually see what a child is capable of or the potential of a child. And so if you do see that, you do have teaching characteristics, because that's a whole characteristic by itself. It's different from being anything else. Impart that, suggest it. So someone texted and said remember the quote that we were all trying to remember? The quote is, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. That is so beautiful. And then we have so many texts. I'm trying to get to the text. I'll try to as fast as I can. But we're going to take a quick break. And after the break, I have one question to ask my panelists, and then we'll end with that. All right. So let's take a quick break, Simba, and get right back to my listeners right after.
Feel the forest without leaving the living room. For over 70 years, Airwick has been connecting people to nature, one breath at a time. Infused with 100% natural essential oils, our fragrances are crafted to capture the beauty of the great outdoors. So whether you're feeling floral, citrusy, or just a little woodsy, Airwick brings nature home to you. Available now at Kelly's, Lowe's Pharmacy, and your favorite local store. Airwick, it's not just a scent, it's a nature moment.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Getting ready to go back to school? Come on into John, where we will have you looking smart on your feet with the wide selection of brands you can trust for boys and girls. Hush Puppies, Skechers, Camper, Timberland, Class Action, Hey Dude, and more. Get a bag for those books or a new lunchbox from a wide selection of spray ground and Toto backpacks. Socks and belts are available in colors and sizes as well. All this and more with the best prices and customer service in town at John's on Rosetta Street, Carmichael Road, and now the Venetian Village shops at Old Fort Bay. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
With Lysol, you can disinfect all surfaces inside and outside your home. When used as directed, Lysol eliminates 99.9% of bacteria, fungus, and viruses. Maintain a healthy home by preventing sickness and keeping infections under control. Don't just clean your surfaces, disinfect them. Lysol does more for you and your family. That's our mission for health. Distributed by Thompson Trading Company.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Listen, we had a whole discussion. I just wish we could unmute during these breaks so that y'all can hear the discussions that take place when my guests are on these breaks. And the information that they were sharing in that little space and moment were so valuable. I asked them to repeat what they said and do it quickly, because I still have this one juicy question I want to ask the panelists at large. So we started talking about ADHD, and the fact that yes, you do have attention, attention deficit, something disorder, and it is prevalent and it is present in the classroom. And Mrs. Peet was sharing something, Mrs. Maycock said something, and Mr. Fullerton just gone and saying whatever else that needed to be said. So real quick, let's see if we could get that in 2 minutes.
You want me to go first?
You need to go first.
Okay. What we are saying with the attention span of the children, as the teachers, we know our class and we know that they need a break.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have to stop, or you're teaching in little chunks. You can do a dance break, a freeze break, do an activity, let them get some water, take their focus off and give them a moment to breathe before you come back. So it's about knowing your student, being flexible, and having strategies that you can use
Know how to pivot.
to give them a break, and then get them back on the task.
Throw that fishing line back out, reel them back
Reel them back in. Yeah.
I
And
like
sometimes we just flip the classroom.
Mm-hmm.
You are the learner within the classroom and allow them to be the the teachers.
Oh, I love that.
My children my students get a kick out of that. Miss Peet, you should know this. I'm like, do I really? But enlighten me. Tell me
more about it. Yeah.
So it helps me and encourages me to know that, hey, you're actually listening to what I said.
Yeah.
You know, so that's
work on their strengths.
Yeah.
If we work on their strengths, then they won't have any weaknesses.
And that also helps the student in the classroom that is afraid to speak.
Come
Say that I
on.
don't know, so.
Strategies.
I love that. I wish we had more time, but real quick, so I want to ask if you could sit every parent in the Bahamas down for 5 minutes. What is one thing? Of course, we don't have 5 minutes, but it is one thing you would want them to understand about teachers and one thing you need from them concerning their children. I'm going to ask Mrs. Maycock to go first.
Okay. Parents, a lot of the problems we face is because of you. Some parents keep those children home for no reason.
Oh, come on.
Oh, I off from work today and I didn't feel like getting up. And every day we lose, we cannot get back. Parents, we need the children to come to school.
Come on.
We need them to come to school ready and prepared. And we need you to support us. Stop making it feel as if our responsibility, you have to take ownership that is your child. I tell the parents, the product you have at home and you send to me, I can tell exactly what goes on in your home.
Oh, yes.
The responsibility, the blame still is going to be on the parent. Make sure that your children, 4 years old, government school, free preschool, get them in school. Don't wait until, they could stay home until they're 5. These parents have to take more ownership.
Yeah.
Stop raising spoiled little children who are entitled. Stop
Yeah.
giving them everything. They have the mentality that even though I don't want to work for it, I'm going to get it anyway. But I'll leave that for the rest.
Mrs. Peet?
I come from a totally different aspect. I would love to tell my parents, and then I tell them most of them anyway, I'm here for you. I care about your child's well-being and the outcome of their education and their whole life, everything about their child. I care about them just like you. So work with me. Work with me while I work with you while we get that child where they need to be, whether it's in the classroom, whether it's in the home for behavioral issues, whether it's even for church. I am a part of Awana at my church. I tell them, bring your child to church. We have a reading program at my church on Saturdays. It's completely free. You don't get sufficient help at school, you bring them to me at church on Saturdays. I am here for you. Sometimes my children say, you know what, Mommy, I think you care about them more than you care about me. I'm like, it ain't like that.
Right.
I just want more for that child, which you could get, that child may not be able to.
Yeah, Mr. Fullerton.
I'll just reiterate that they see the teacher as a partner. Okay. It's not just, the teacher is not just to give instruction. Have open communication with the teacher. Stay engaged within the classroom. Yes. And once a student recognizes that home and school is aligned, then we will now be able to educate an individual.
That cohesiveness is important, extremely important. Parents, I want to talk to us for a moment. All right, this is my moment to share it out. The Bible says in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 12 to 13, it says, and we urge you, brethren, to recognize those who labor among you and are over you in the Lord, and admonish you, and to esteem them very highly in love for their work's sake. Now I know that this scripture is speaking about those who labor among us in the Lord, but this is a principle here that I believe we can take with us today. We want to recognize those who labor among us, meaning our teachers. Sometimes we see the homework, we see the grades, we see the report card, and when something goes wrong, then we see the teacher. All right. But do we see their labor? Do we see what happens behind the scenes? There's a teacher right now who's leaving here to go to her classroom to prepare her class for tomorrow morning. We've heard the stories from, I got to be careful what I say now, but using their personal resources to ensure that the classrooms are set, ensure that sometimes the children eat. Okay, they use their funds to ensure that these things are done. Do we see the teacher who went home thinking about your child at the end of the day? The teacher who spent extra time trying to figure out, how can I get this child to understand? The teacher who recognized that your child needed additional help and intervention before anybody else did. Okay, the teacher who is teaching academics, but at the same time dealing with different personalities, behavior, different learning abilities, emotional needs, parental expectations, and so many other things, and including the administration from that school who's giving them a hard time. We want our parents to know that, yes, they are heroes. We feel as if they have a cape somewhere, but they're not sharing with us. But at the end of the day, they're still human. And I started off saying that these people are human with the exact emotions that we have. They still cry at the end of the day. They still have children that they have to go home to, etc., etc. So this school year, for goodness sake, pick up your children 3 o'clock if the time is 3 o'clock.
Jesus,
okay,
please.
for this school year, please bring your child to school on time so it doesn't disrupt the class while the teachers are already in session and classes are already in session. For this school year, can you ensure that your children are prepared? Okay, and if there are any issues that they're having or you're having, connect with the teacher. Find an appointment. Don't just come showing up in the classroom. Yeah, I said it.
With less aggression.
Okay. All right. I understand. I understand that that's my child. I get it. But do you know that there are some teachers who feel as if your child is their child too, in a good way? Yes. Because they love your children. They want the best for your children. So be mindful of that, okay? And yeah, sometimes we have to address things, and it's okay to address it, but let's address it respectfully. Recognize their labor too. When you see them working hard, you go into the food store, pick up a little something. Yes, I said it again. Pick up a little something. Child, money tight. Da, da, da. Yeah. What you think but them? Pick up a little chocolate to say, I'm thinking about you. I just want you to know that I appreciate you. Something, give them words of encouragement. Whatever it is that you can do, allow them to ensure that you enforce the appreciation for the teachers. Don't wait till the school says it's appreciation week. Just do it, because we can, no amount of money can pay for the work that our teachers do, especially in our country, because we've alluded to this. They are the nurses, the doctors, the referees, the parents, the therapists. They're everything to everyone in that classroom. And sometimes it's like 30-something kids in a class that they have to attend to. Have a heart.
It's funny that you said that, because I had to tell a parent that one day. You're expecting me to do something for the one child that you have, that's your one child, while I have 18, I have 25. Like you say, have a heart.
Guess what? And also, in the midst of all of this, also teach your children manners. Okay, manners still make it the man. All right, that's my final input on that. Good morning. Good afternoon. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Excuse me. Thank you. Please teach them that, please. It's a new school year, man. All right, let's get it together. Your Lane with Coach Trish Hanna, episode 183, Behind the Classroom, the Heart of a Teacher, was brought to you by John Shoe Store and Accessories, Your Lane Life Coaching, the Children's Dream Journal, Lysol and Airwick, distributed by Thompson Trading, Commonwealth Bank, and 242 Media Connect. I am so grateful to have Mrs. Sheanda Maycock, Mr. William Fullerton, and Mrs. Shakia Peet on board with us. Wonderful teachers, blessed teachers, and thank you so much for being a part of Your Lane Talk Show on this beautiful Sunday. All right, thank you to everyone. Thank you to Simba. He's helping produce the show today. I pray that you were all empowered, educated, and encouraged to not just stay in your lane, but to understand that teachers are human too. And at the end of the day, they have emotions and a family to go home to, just like you. Happy Sunday, everyone. And thank you for tuning in. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.